So as you are all coming in, I will quickly remind you of the rules of the class. So you should be in wuzu, your head should be covered, find yourself in a nice quiet room so there's no background noise. And you should have your pen and paper ready, or notebooks now. Not just paper, but notebooks. Make lovely, nice and lovely notes. And no eating or drinking except some water. Okay, water is allowed. Don't spill it. Okay. So we already have 6 hands raised. I tell you want to take part. So let's start then. So today is week 3. Day 2, so we are in week 3 of your term already, mashallah, how time flies. So week 3, day 2, Tuesday, and today we are going to have nice and easy main lesson as well, and this session as well. So we'll have more chance to ask you questions, okay? So let's see what we're doing today. So if you're all ready, you can start writing this out. I'm going to start with the very first question. And I'm going to ask you if you know which book this page number refers to. This is the Holy Quran. So for filling the blanks, you have every day. Let me show you, almost every day. And you will have the title here. Then in week 3, and this is the lesson. This is on signs of Waqf, this one. And we'll give you a page number for you to check. So I'm going to ask the student to confirm which page number we refer to when we say this. Now then, who shall I ask? Who hasn't taken part? Now, mashallah, all of you have at least taken part once because you are our regular students, aren't you? You join at 10 to regularly. You're, mashallah, you're ready. 9 hands are raised. I'm going to ask, who should I send? Awesome. I'll send you a request.
Assalamualaikum.
Walaikum salam. How are you, beta?
Good, how are you?
Alhamdulillah, I'm fine as well. Jazakumullah for asking. Well done for raising your hand, and be ready for joining before 6 o'clock. Now, is that your rainbow right next before your name?
Yes.
Yes, you really are helping me, aren't you, to learn your name. But Alhamdulillah, I'm able to memorize your names, and by the end of the semester, I will know your names, and I'll know who, how many of you have been logging in on daily. Okay. And usually you guys end up with a certificate.
So,
yes, is that Zara?
Sent me a request before, but it wasn't letting me unmute, but I can unmute now.
Okay, beta. I'm going to ask Aman first to read to tell me the answer to the question, and then you stay on standby. Then I'll ask you next. Is that okay?
Okay.
Okay. Okay, Aman, beta. When we write the page numbers, what do we mean? But which page numbers we mean? Is it from the Holy Quran? Do you think?
Yes.
Okay, well, it's actually from your book, Talimul-Qur'an, and that's where we, that's your, like a textbook, okay? That's where we make all these slides from. So you should have a copy of it. If not, then the teachers, if you're listening, I'm sure they are, teachers, kindly send the link to Talimul-Qur'an to the parents. So the teachers, so the students can have it, okay? So they can open Talimul-Qur'an and check these page numbers. Okay, Jazakumullah Aman for trying. And now we're asking Zara now, right?
Yes.
Zara, but from room 6. Okay, Beta, can you read this quote for us?
Okay.
Please.
The one who follows the Holy Quran becomes the recipient of divine blessings and holds a unique bond with the gracious God.
Excellent. Where is it from?
Surma Chashma Arya, page 20 to 21.
Excellent. Okay. So recipient means the one who receives it. Okay. So you receive the divine blessings. Now, I would highly recommend that you write these quotes. Our main course leader, Mrs. Orchard, she has chosen these carefully, selected these for you to inspire you, to motivate you. So I would highly recommend that you write these out. Now then, so Jazakumullah Zara, let's ask another student to read the next part for us and fill in the blank. So only 9 hands are raised. We've got 4 minutes, and there's over 70 of you. 10. Now, I always try to aim for 50 of you to raise your hands because, believe it or not, the number of hands raised in the main session is mysteriously linked to your pass rate. So if you were to have your exam tomorrow, and we ask you a question on everything you've done so far, which is not much, only 3 topics. If you raise, so there's 13 of you who are ready to answer, that means 13 of you will pass the exam. So we want at least 50, right? So that's why I always say, raise your hands if you know it. Right, who shall we ask? Oh, another student with rainbow.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam, is that Farkhanda?
Yes,
How are you, beta?
good.
Excellent. So Farkhanda from room 11. So your teacher will make a note that you are taking part. Excellent. Okay, beta, would you like to read this out for us and fill the blanks for us?
Yes. A meme represents al-waqf al-lazim, which means the compulsory stop. Therefore, one must stop here. It is even indicated in the margin.
Excellent. Jazakumullah. Very nice to read. Okay, what does waqf mean? Raise your hands if you know what does waqf mean. Let's see how our Lajna students are doing. I've not heard our Lajna students. So if you are present, please raise your hands. Take part in the main lessons if you can. How about our C6? Our young students are very keen, mashallah. Okay, 3 so far. Let's ask. Sending your request. Walaikum assalam. Is that Ashfa from room 18?
Yes.
Excellent. Now I say the room 18 so that your teacher can make a note that you are taking part in the main lesson. Okay, but would you like to tell me what waqf means?
Waqf is when you stop or pause.
Excellent. Yeah. Waqf means to pause or when you stop during the recitation of the Holy Quran. Now then, so we're doing the sign of waqf, and you'll see many signs in the Holy Quran, and we need to know, they are for us. And some of them tell us to stop. So we are going to be covering at least 5 this semester. So the sign when you see is a little meme, which represents al-waqful lazim. Lazim means compulsory. And that means that you must stop. Now there are the 2 ways to find out that you need to stop there, what it means. So firstly, you will see this. Now here it is on top of the verse and sign. Now that you know now, what do we call this sign? We did that last week. Yes? Can anyone remind us? 21 hands raised. Excellent. Right, let's ask somebody else. Let's see if you've got any C5 students today. Oh, no one is ready yet. C3 students are always ready.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam. Is that Wasif from room 7?
Yes.
Okay, how are you, beta?
Good, how are you?
Alhamdulillah, I'm fine as well. Jazakumullah for asking. Beta, do you remember from last week, what's the name of this this sign, verse and sign?
It's
Sorry, I didn't catch that, beta.
Is it a verse end?
It is a verse and yeah, and we call the name of this is al-waqfu tam. Okay, the complete
Yes, al-waqf.
stop. Excellent. Okay, so you see this little meme.
Yes.
It's a compulsory stop. We must stop here, and you'll also here's the margin. So here's the page, and in the side here it will be written as waqful lazim. So when you reach it, it's not this one. This is Jim. It's the meme where you must stop. Okay. Now it is 6 o'clock. Jazakumullah everyone for taking part. I'm going to hand you over to our main course leader, Mrs. Orchard.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Jazakumullah ACL for clarifying a few things, and just a quick reminder that I would like everybody to have their ID. Display the correct ID, please, because right now while we're waiting and before we go into breakout rooms, there's somebody in the office who's allocating all of you to your breakout rooms. And the only way to do that is for your R number to be showing. So just make sure you've got your correct ID on display and your R number is in there as well. And I would like to call Nahid Saiba for Tilawat, please.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam.
A'udhu billahi minash shaitonir rajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Izhar jaa nasrullahi wal fath ورأيت الناس يدخلون في دين الله أفواجا في دين الله أفواجا فسبح بحمد ربك واستغفر إنه كان توابا.
Jazakumullah Naheed Saiba, and we'll listen to your prayer at the end of the lesson. Everybody come back after breakout rooms, and the gaps in between were for all of you to be reciting out loud. I hope you all were reciting out loud because you need as much practice as possible. We will be memorizing this surah, okay? Now, at the moment, the rules that you know in here that we've learned so far in Nazirah level 2, all the basic rules, you know, like Madde Kabir and your short and long vowels, but the ones that are highlighted down here, the ones that are on display in this surah, really at the moment, it's just this one. It's actually a level 1 rule, the gunna of Noon Mushaddad, okay? And all the other rules we will learn as we go along. So you just focus on memorizing it with all the rules that you know, and then we will revisit this surah in a few weeks' time. We will probably come back to it maybe 3 times altogether, and each time you come back to this surah and we do it in class, you will learn it with new rules. Okay, so we will kind of layer the rules as we go along, but for now I want you to memorize it. Okay, that's what you have to focus on. Now let's go back to the rules of this week. Now we're learning a new rule this week. Today is the day that we introduce the new rule, so you must take notes if this is all new. Have your pen and paper ready. So far we've learned 2 ways of pronouncing the N sound, the N sound of the Noon Sakin and Tanween. Now in this example, the one that is round, it's Tanween, but it's still an N sound, okay? Now Izhar was one way of pronouncing it. Izhar means to read it clearly, or in another way is manifestation, but we say to read it clearly, no gunna. Okay, so here you have the name Muhammadun, okay, and then if it's followed by this, we actually technically this is a hamza, we would call this a hamza, but it's written as an alif, but we say illa, Muhammadun illa, so it is read clearly, izhar, because of the following letter. This letter that follows this is one of the letters of the throat, huruf al-halaqi. Okay, you don't need your tongue to pronounce these letters like ayn and ghayn and kha and hamza, etc. Okay, so it's easy to pronounce the n sound and then go into this letter, Muhammadun illa. Okay, that's izhar. Then we learned about idgham. We revised this all yesterday, by the way. Idgham, now that's the opposite. The opposite is happening. What's happening is you're not hearing it, not only not clearly, but you're not hearing it at all. And this idgham, or this blending or merging of the sound going into the next letter, we learned that if there are 2 letters that follow the n sound, ra and lam, then complete assimilation, complete idgham, complete merging will happen. Okay, kamil means complete. So we learned the rule of idgham kamil, complete merging, assimilation, complete blending of the n sound. So again, you've got Muhammadun, and then you have the word Rasul. It begins with a ra. So we don't say Muhammadun Rasul, we say Muhammadur Rasulullah. Okay, you don't even hear the sound, okay, of the it disappears. Now, today we are now going to learn the next rule of idgham. Okay, first of all, let's remind ourselves what idgham means. Idgham, remember this, write it down. It means merging, blending. You might hear the word assimilation, joining. Okay, so even if there's a word like assimilation that might sound a little bit complicated, if you understand the simple meaning like joining or blending or merging, okay, then you'll understand what idgham means. Okay, Idgham means that you're blending or joining sounds together. And we have it in English as well. And now, again, just a quick reminder, Izhar, remember, where we read it clearly, okay? And Idgham Kamil, where we don't hear it, okay? So that's a quick reminder. We did this all yesterday, right? And just again, just to remind you what we've done so far. When the n sound is read clearly, man amana, adhabun alim, okay, clearly, short, sharp, and sweet, no gunna. And then when it's the opposite and it blends completely, not min rabbihim, but min rabbihim, not min ladunna, but min ladunna, okay, no N sound there. Okay, just a reminder again now. And again, we had the complete assimilation in Azan, Allah ilaha, Muhammadur Rasulullah. Again, just a reminder that it's the lam and the ra that makes it blend in, okay, it makes it merge. Just again, this is all repeated, okay? Okay, and commercial break now. Just remind you the Waqf sign, we're going to have one a week, right? This is the one that we did this week, Al-Waqful Lazim, compulsory stop. It's called Waqful Lazim because it has a meme at the end of the word Lazim, and that's mean. You just have to remember that it is compulsory, okay? Compulsory, okay? That's what it is, it's compulsory. Oops. Okay, so that's what we do. We stop, we must stop, okay? It's a hint, it's a sign to tell us that the meaning is better for us to stop. Now, so this is what we've done. We've done these letters here, Ra and Lam, this one and this one, okay? And this is a word, ril. This is a word that will help us to remember these letters, ril, okay? Now, altogether, there are 6 letters of merging idgham, okay? And we did this one and this one, okay? And that leaves 4. So the way to remember these letters for start is to make a word, an acronym. An acronym is a word that doesn't mean anything in itself. It's just made up of letters, and it's the letters that you have to remember. It's a good way of remembering certain letters. So we need to remember these letters of idgham. All together, now there's 2 idgham rules, right? There's one with gunna and without gunna. The one that we've done is without gunna. No gunna, it's complete merging. But then there is one with gunna. The same thing's happening. The sound is merging and blending, but it's kind of leaving a little bit of there's a kind of a leftover sound. It's a gunna sound. Okay, and sometimes it's strong, sometimes it's light, depending on the letter. But you just have to make that gunna sound, which is like a nasal sound, 2-second nasal sound. Okay, and that is because of the nature of these letters. So what are we left with? What are we left with today? If we did the ra and the lam, we did complete assimilation. Then we are left with these ones, the ya, the meme, the waw, and the noon, okay? But first of all, it's good to remember all of them, all of the letters of assimilation. The way to remember them is to make a word out of it, yarmulun, okay, with these letters. And then remember that, okay, complete assimilation is ril, okay, ril are ra and lam. Let's make that's color coded for now, just for now. Obviously, it's not color coded in your Quran, it's just for today, okay? And then we have to remember that there are some leftover letters, which are ya, noon, meme, and waw. Okay, these are the ones we're going to deal with today, okay? So these plus these letters equal these letters. Okay, that's all it is. That's all it is. It's just a matter of remembering them. And you can make a word out of these ones as well. The ones we're going to do today are called yanmu. Okay, just have a look at them. That's just 6 letters altogether of idgham, of merging, assimilation. Okay, we're going to make a word out of it for you to remember. So instead of you saying, okay, it's ya, ra, mim, lam, waw, noon, you say, oh, it's the word yarmulun. And when you remember the word yarmulun, you remember it's ya, ra, mim, lam, waw, noon, yarmulun. Okay. And then you remember, okay, from yarmulun, we're going to take the ra and the lam, and that's here, okay? And we can make a word out of that, and it's ril, okay? And then we're left with these letters ya, mim, waw, and noon. Ya, noon, mim, and waw, we can make a word out of that, yanmu, okay? That's all it is. That's all that is there. It's just words. It's words that are made out of letters that you have to remember. That's all it is. We'll come back to this. It's just so that you understand what they are. Okay, what they are. So we've done those letters. And now we're going to go on to the new rule. This is the new rule here. And the new rule is that when Noon Sakin or Tanween is followed by one of those 4 letters, which are those 4 letters? Ya, Waw, Noon, or Mim, you're going to get Idgham, but it's going to be partial, not complete, okay? It's going to be part, that means it will blend in, but there's going to be a nice humming nasal sound left over. So here is the prayer. Let's look at what we're talking about. So there's your tanween, there's your tanween, the end sound, okay? And this is a word, imaman, and it's followed by the word wa, okay? Now what happens is that tanween, it's followed by a waw, idgham is going to take place. Idgham is going to take place here. So they have placed a shadda on the waw. The waw has become mushaddad. You can pretend that it's swallowed the end sound. So instead of imaman, it becomes imama, like imaman. Not imaman, but imaman. Like you got to sit on it. Count of 2. 1, 2. Sit on it for 2. Here is another word. There is your end sound. Nuron, which is nuron is light. Nuron is the light. Wa, and. Followed by and, wa. Nu, so we don't say nuron wa. It becomes mushaddad. Nor do we say nuron wa, but we hold it for 2 counts. We say nuron wa, nuron wa. Okay, nu, and the nasal sound is the nuron wa. Okay, let's have a volunteer to do the last one. I'm going to ask someone to volunteer to read out the last one to show me how you do idgham, partial assimilation with ghunna.
Assalamualaikum.
Hello, Islam Imrana, how are you?
How are you?
I'm good, excellent. Now, hudan is the word. Ignore this ya, it's part of the word, okay? Now, hudan, there's your tanween, the end sound. It's followed by the wa, okay? Now, what you have to do is you have to join them together. So the wa has become mushaddad. You're going to stress on it, but you're also going to do a ghunna. And idgham naqis or partial assimilation will take place, okay? So it will blend in, but not completely. You'll be left with an echo, like a little bit of a ghunna sound. Do you want to give it a go? Very nice, mashallah. Did you notice as well how it helped her with her tune? She held on to the what sound, the ghunna sound with the waw, and it helped her have a tune. Excellent, jazakumullah. Thank you for your help. That's beautifully done. Now that's idgham naqis. We call that idgham naqis. Okay, partial assimilation. What I'll do, we'll have the rule up tomorrow. You just have to remember that it is done partially, and I want to just quickly explain to you here in your breakout room. You're going to get these, right? And it's the same principle. So instead of man, these are 2 words. Man yaqulu, we wouldn't even say man yaqulu. We would hold it. We would say man yaqulu. Okay, the humming sound is a count of 2, just like this elongation is 2. Same here. The word is min and ni'matin. We would not say we wouldn't just stress on it, min ni'matin, okay? Because obviously there's a shadda on there, but we have to hold it. We know noon mushaddad is a ghunna letter anyway. Noon mushaddad and mim mushaddad, these are ghunna letters anyway, so they're easy to remember, these ones. We would say min ni'matin, okay? Hold on to it, okay? So I could have one more volunteer to read out these partial assimilations. And then what's going to happen is you're going to go into your breakout rooms and do these yourselves with your teacher. I've asked somebody to unmute.
Assalamualaikum.
Walaikum salam. Safa?
Okay.
Excellent. Okay, so could you give me this one with a nice ghunna on the mim mushaddad?
Mim
Excellent, mashallah. How about this one?
Miwalin.
Yeah,
Miwalin.
good. Made it a bit longer. Good. So that was 2. The elongation of the vowel was 2, and this vowel was 2 as well. Excellent. How about, say it in your head first. It's a long word, so it's khayron with yaroh, yarohu. And how would you do this? Do you want to give it a go?
Khayrawa.
It's a bit, it's khayron yarohu.
Khayrayarahu.
Shabash. Excellent. Jazakumullah. That was a bit harder because there was a bit of a lean sound there as well. Jazakumullah. I'm asked one more person to volunteer. I'm sending you a message. Hello, Islam Usman. Now, there's 2 words. There's yawma idhin and na'ima. Let's put a sukoon on there, okay? Na'ima. How would that be then? Because we need to do a gunna on here. It's blending in. What would it be?
Yawma izin na'ima.
Good. I did hear a gunna there. Another gunna here, please. Aghabun and muqim.
Azabum muqim.
Good. Just hold the gunna a bit longer, bit longer.
Azabum muqim.
Very good. And the last one, again, we want to hold the gunna. Rahimun and wadud. Okay. So here, so I'm going to leave a gap for all of you to say out loud. So the word is rahimun and wadud. How would that be together? Rahimun wadud. Okay, so notice how that gunna is really going to help you with your tune, okay? And then you'll see that it comes up again in the prayer at the end, okay? So you're going to do that in your breakout rooms. This is idgham naqis, partial merging, not complete, and it's with a 2-second gunna. Remember, it's noon, mim, waw, and ya. Okay, we'll go over it tomorrow again. We can go into our breakout rooms. Come back, please, all 146 of you, teachers and students. Teachers, you need to keep an eye on your students that they're coming back in, and students, you need to come and learn the prayer. So 146 back here, please, after breakout rooms. So we can go into our breakout rooms now, please. Jazakumullah.